We finally got a success story about a stock guru. I've always wanted to do a case like this, somebody who's really good with the stock market and prove that he's extraordinary and be able to be entitled to an EB-1A visa. Why? Because it is impossible to do a case like this, right? Wall Street is the leading stock market in the world. All the top executives, all the financial gurus from around the world get their MBAs here in the US, and they are the ones investing and trading. How can somebody overseas get an EB-1A by proving that they will be beneficial to the US? What can they bring? What can they bring? All the licenses are commissioned here. Well, this is a story how we filed the case with no request for evidence, immediately approved. Let's go. Hi everyone, my name is Joseph. I'm the managing partner here at Tsang and Associates, where we solve legal problems with creative solutions. So the legal problem here is that this individual wanted to apply for an EB-1A green card based on his expertise in the stock market. That is so hard. I've done countless consultations over the past decade, trying to do this, and a lot of times it just doesn't pass the muster, and so I don't want the clients to spend money and time to do it, so we advise them to do other things. But this case, we tried and then we won. Now this client was extraordinary in a lot of ways, and that actually made the case hard because which path are we gonna choose, right? So secretly, when I was working with him and dealing with this case, I really wanted to do the stock option part, but you know, he's extraordinary on so many fronts, and so I needed to do an objective analysis. He is a serial entrepreneur. He had a lot of famous companies, and so we could go that route. But that proved challenges as well because there's so many entrepreneurs in the US already. So what is he exactly gonna do? So there's being a famous entrepreneur, prove that on the EB-1A front. There's also a software engineer. He could be an expert. He has a PhD, he has a lot of publications. We could prove that he was an expert in software engineering and he created all these algorithms and he's able to bring that to the US. That also could have worked. Or the third option was he could create a stock trading platform, and he's an expert in stock trading. And so I wanted to be objective and present everything. And I also honestly said that the stock trading one is going to be very hard, and that will be the pushback. But all three of them will have pushback. Entrepreneur, again, there's a lot of entrepreneurs in the US already. The difficult part about that is the reason why we ultimately didn't choose it is because he didn't have any significant funding, right? We've done other entrepreneur cases, famous entrepreneurs, and we show that there's a lot of investors behind him and he's able to bring so many assets into the US. But in his case, he didn't have that much. He had a lot compared to you and I, normal middle class people, but compared to a huge company that's bringing in like a huge industry, he didn't really have that, right? So didn't choose that route. Software engineer, he was pretty good, but his technology, a lot of it is outdated. It's, you know, decades old. It was hard to prove the sustained recognition. What he did was amazing. It's still being used today, but that's in his country. What is his algorithm gonna do in the US? So just like how the US will challenge the stock option part, they will challenge him on his software engineering part. Because of that, in an objective analysis of the three, the best one to choose was the stock exchange. And I was a little giddy about it. And so we prepared the case and presented it, and then it was approved without a request for evidence. It was such a good day at the firm. Now, that was only half the battle, picking which industry to prove somebody's extraordinary. This case, we've finally picked, it was stock trading, but now the second battle begins. We have the biggest stock exchange, we are trading everything. What kind of insight do you have that we don't have in the United States? And so we really boiled down into what his expertise was, which is in commodities trading for oil and gas that is talking about the future exchange. If you don't know what that means, that's okay, because I didn't know what that means either. And I'm sure the USCIS officer doesn't really know what that means either, right? So when we started this, we spent a lot of time learning about it and why the US is not particularly good at doing that. So there's the stock exchange, there's future options trading, and there's commodities future trading, and specifically regarding particular countries trading. And then the war happened, or special military operation between Russia, Ukraine, right? And this particular industry just completely blew up, right? The future trading options was all over the place. There was no stability. People were losing money left and right. People were completely confused. Prices were going up and down. This is where his expertise came in. He's able to stabilize this. How is he going to stabilize it? I don't really know, but his research proves that he will stabilize it, and he has a lot of publications and citations proving that his model will work, and so we presented everything to show If he is granted the green card, he intends to start this trading platform. He will be able to get the license, and he is able to stabilize this particular area that the US is not particularly good at, because that's his field of expertise. He's dedicated his life to it. He's a software engineer that created algorithms for it. Nobody else does that in the US. People who go into finance in the US, they're not engineers. If they are, they're not software engineers. They don't know how to do coding and trade at the same time, but that's his capability, and he's able to present that to the US and in exchange for a green card. That's essentially what we argued, and the case was approved. If you have any questions about stock trading, don't ask me. But if you want to do an EB-1A case and your field is completely unique and you're confused on how to do it, that's what we specialize in. We dedicate our team, our staff, to doing these more complicated type EB-1A cases. We do it for a year. We sometimes do it for 3 years to prepare it, apply, and the whole family gets green card. Forget the O1s and in-betweens to come to the US first. The moment they got it, the entire family is able to get green cards to come. So EB-1A is a category where you invest in yourself. Instead of spending money on outside people, you invest in yourself, you become great, and then the US recognizes that awesomeness in you and then gives you the green card. All right, take care. Bye-bye.